Hi, Stampin' friends. It's Laura Milligan, and I'm coming to you live from Canton, Ohio, and the Bee Spot. Thank you for joining me today. Um, Gorgeous day here. I wasn't sure what I wanted to share with you today, but I've been talking about the Glass Mat Studio to some of my during some of my classes and a club. There was some questions about it, and when I shared a little bit about it, everybody seemed so interested. And actually, in my one club, everybody that was there that night ordered the Glass Mat Studio. So I think it's something that's really popular. I really didn't know that much about it. This was offered a few months ago as a join special through Stampin' Up. Um, I honestly was so busy at that time. We had some family things going on, and I didn't even have time to take it out of the box. I have done that since then, of course, and I've had time to kind of play around with it. And so I wanted to share with you today some tips and ways to use the Glass Mat Studio. I think you're going to really like it. I do have an ordering special, um, and that and I'll tell you about it as we go through, but I'm trying to really make this a sweet deal, and I hope that it will help me out with my monthly sales, but it will also help you out with a great incentive to purchase this Glass Mat Studio with some extra perks. So I'm going to change my camera view, and here is the Glass Mat Studio. If you're there, by the way, please say hi. Um, I have had a little bit of internet trouble today already. I'm so frustrated, but it is what it is. So hopefully we can get through this okay. There's Debbie, Colleen, Mary Jo, Myra. Hi, Myra. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining so much. So this is the Glass Mat Studio, and there are three parts to it. This is a glass mat. It measures 17 inches by 14 inches. It does rest on little feet on the bottom. It comes very securely packaged, but it does come with these little feet, they're not, these aren't the feet, little corner protectors, I will call them, for lack of a better word. You don't have to leave those on there. I just thought that I would, because my stamping products seem to be used very hard. We have, like I've told you before, we have a very busy working studio, and I just thought I would leave these on here. We have the Stampin' Up logo there, and then down in this corner, you can barely see it. Let me pick this up so you can see there's a really pretty floral image there. So let me get this back on here. But what I thought I would do today is just talk to you about different ways you can use this and why you need it, why every crafter needs it. Like I said, the first component is the glass mat with the feet. It is tempered glass, it is heat resistant, it is scratch resistant. Tempered glass is great because if it would get dropped and break, I have a feeling it's pretty durable, and I was not going to practice dropping it to see what would happen, but tempered glass means that when if you would break it, it will be a lot of little pieces. There won't be any sharp edges, so you can't cut yourself, which is really, really nice. It is the biggest plus about this is it is a flat, sturdy surface. I actually have in my studio, I have 4 tables that my stampers stamp on when they're here for class, and I actually ordered glass tops for all of my tables, and there are a lot of reasons why I like them. One of which, it's a solid, sturdy, even surface to stamp on. So if some of you stamp on a desk or a table that was your grandma's, even some of the plastic tables, card tables, that sort of thing, you're not going to have this completely solid, sturdy, flat surface. So that's a big plus to this. Then there is also with this is the silicone mat, which is this. You can see mine is used, and it just sticks. So once you put that down there, it is not going anywhere. This is stuck on the glass mat. I'm just going to pick it up if I want, move it wherever I want. I'm going to talk about this more in a little bit, but you can see there's some staining. I was doing some watercoloring, and when you're done with something like this, if you're done watercoloring or whatever you're doing, you can just rinse this under your kitchen sink under the tap water. You may have some staining. It's not going to affect the performance of this at all. It's still going to be completely usable, and this just means it's well loved. And who doesn't want to be well loved, right? Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I'll come back to that. And then you also have the cleaning cloth. And when you get this, it's going to be firm, and you're just going to rinse it with water. And again, it's pretty big size. This is almost 9 by 9. And you can see mine is also, this is also well loved. And you have to get it wet. You wring it out. It is not like seeping wet. It's just damp. So I got it wet. I squeezed excess water out of it, and this is going to be handy for you while you're using the glass mat. I'm going to set that aside a minute for now as well. I'm just going to walk you through some different things, some different ways that I like to use my glass mat. So let's just do that. And this is more, well, yeah, so let me just get started. So one of the things is, let me take this little piece here. I have pulled out my Be My Valentine, I'll emphasize Be My Valentine stamp set. And I have used this a lot. This came out, I believe it was in our January through April catalog. And I know that, we use this because of course I love bees, but use this on a lot of projects. And when people were stamping the body of the bee, more times than not, it was not a full solid image. And so I thought the first thing I wanted to try today was stamping this on the glass mat to just see how things turned out. And I'm not going to do a traditional bee color of yellow and black today. I'm going to use Poppy Parade with my solid stamp. And really, when we did this, even the black, the stripes and the tail, because it's such a solid image as well, we didn't always get a good, perfect impression. So this is Poppy Parade ink, and I'm just going to get this stamp inked up really well. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp on my glass mat. Give it a good press. Oops, okay, well, so I slipped, I dropped it out of my hand, but you can see, look how solid that image is. Let me flip it over. Whoops. Now I have Poppy Parade on my hands. You should have seen my hands this morning. Oh boy. I was, like I've said before, I was the president of the Inky Finger Club, self-appointed president. Okay, so there you have that. Look how solid of an impression that is. Looks really good. I would be really happy if I was stamping and that was the impression I got. So I got a little ink on my fingers, and so I'm just going to take my cleaning cloth and wipe that off. Okay. All right. I'm going to put this away. That's Poppy Parade. Now I'm going to take the black, and I'm going to use Tuxedo Black. So the glass mat, let me tell you, it is, Susan is asking, it is available now. It is not in a catalog. You can find it online. I will, when I finish my video today, my live, I will put the number so that you can order it. Make it easy for you to order. I should have thought of that before and I just didn't. So now I'm going to take my black and just line this up. And like I said, this was another stamp that was really hard to get a solid impression. And look how amazing that is. That's beautiful, right? Look how, you couldn't get it, you couldn't ask for a better image. I think that looks really great. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you with the glass mat, that it having such a strong, sturdy surface, you're going to get great results when you stamp. The other thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to keep this here just as scrap, and I'm going to take, this is Petal Pink. I could do this in any color. I just happen to have this handy. I'm going to ink this up. Maybe you're doing a background and you want to stamp off the edge like this. You can do that right on the glass mat. This color doesn't show up much, but you can see now, maybe you can see I have some stamped images there all you need to do is take your cleaning cloth and wipe that off, and your surface is brand spanking clean, ready to go. So that's another thing that you can do with this. So of course with this I would finish it. I'd add some wings and a face. And so I did, because I always think it's better when you know how to do something. That's great, but I think I personally always like to see a finished card. And so let me show you. Here's a finished card that I made. It's very, very simple, but as you know, those are my favorite kind of cards. So you can see the beautifully stamped bumblebee, stamped in Poppy Parade ink and then Tuxedo Black Memento. This is just a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I just added a simple word and some rhinestones. So, you know what, hold on one second, please. Be right back, I forgot something. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, here we go. So there's a cute, simple, quick card, but look how beautiful that impression is. Okay, so there's card number 1. I'm gonna set that aside. Well, and then of course the other thing you can do is take your, okay, let me show you this. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna take my bone folder. You know me, and you know one of the things that I like to do is do flecking, and I do it with my blending brushes. Yes, Debbie, it does have feet. So I'm going to take the brush tip of my Poppy Parade, and I'm just going to speckle or fleck some color on here, and I don't have to worry about it getting on my glass mat because, and I'm sure you all know the answer to this, I'm just going to take my cleaning cloth and wipe it off. And that keeps it nice and clean. So you can use this over and over and over again, and it's going to stay clean. All right. That's my first card. And then, of course, the other thing you can do, you can use this to clean off your stamps. So I'm just going to rub that on there like that. Like I said, first time I used this, I got it wet, wrung it out because I didn't want it to be too wet. And then, you know, it's going to be stained, but that it's like the silicone mat that I showed you, it does not hurt the performance at all. Okay, I'm getting a weird message on here and I don't know what it means. I'm going to try to recover. We'll see. Can you all still hear me and see me? I think I'm okay. I'm going to keep going. But yes, Debbie, it does have little feet on the bottom of it. So, okay, I've done that. That's my first card I wanted to share with you. Let me tell you while I'm getting that cleaned up about what my special is. So this is my host code. This is a special host code that I'm just using this week for this. I'm going to bring this in here and show you. Here's my special host code. I've also written it right here with Stampin' Blends. When I'm done with this, I'll take my cleaning cloth and erase it. But my special, if you purchase so the glass mat is $60. If you purchase it, or anything totaling $60, any order totaling $60 now through Sunday, using my special host code, so this would be for an online order, I'm going to give you a pack of blending brushes. I'm going to give you a pack of the gems that you're going to get for an order this month anyway. Those are these. These are the adhesive back sparkle gems. And then I'm also going to give you a pack of dimensionals. Also, I'm going to give you double freebies. So instead of getting one freebie with a $50 order, so you get a bee with every $50. This will be a $60 product order, but you will get 2 freebies, which means that you'll get to that the magic number of 10 bees where you're going to get $40 in free product. So you're going to get that, all of that. So it's the blending brushes, a pack of blending brushes, a pack of Stampin' Dimensionals, these gems, and 2 freebies. And if you already have the glass mat and want to place an order and take advantage of all of that, as long as your product order is $60 before any bonus day coupons or anything like that. It has to be $60 or more in product before any discounts. Then you will be the lucky recipient of all those things. Okay, card number 2 is a background stamp. So we have a lot of background stamps. So good. Okay, good. Debbie says, yes, I can see and hear you. Okay. Sketched plaid. As you know, we have several big, large background stamps. We have a big block that they fit on. I think it's like the F block, but I'm not sure. It's a handful. If you're trying to hold this, if you ink it up and try to flip it over, it's a handful. It's hard to do. So one of the other really cool things you can do with this is put your large background stamps on the glass mat. Now, the nice thing about this too is there are grids. And so you can see, I can check this to make sure that it's lined up straight, and this actually looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is take this is pumpkin pie ink. This is called sketched plaid. I don't know if I told you that or not. I'm just going to get this inked up. So much easier. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take a panel of basic white. I'm going to lay this down as carefully as I can. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take, you could use a brayer and brayer over this. I find I have more luck just using, this could be any scrap paper that you have. I just happen to have this scrap paper here, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to lay it down flat, and I'm just going to carefully run my hand over this whole stamped image, or inked up image, I should say. And I don't have to worry about picking it up, flipping it over, any of that, because like I said, this is a handful. Okay, so that's probably pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up, and look what a great impression I got. Isn't that cute? And of course, what you could do is, you could do all, depending on what the background stamp is, you could tap all sorts of different colors of ink on this. There's some different things you can do with your big stamps like this. I'm going to take my cleaning cloth now and just wipe this off. Okay. So that's nice and clean. And then when I'm done today, I'm going to go back to my sink and just run my cleaning cloth under water and squeeze it out to get any excess ink out. So I'm going to put this away now. And let me show you a card I made with this stamp set. So this is with the Scenic Pumpkin stamp set, and you can see there's the plaid stamp. I added some black. It's on a white card base. Cute little pumpkins. And the other thing that I wanted to show you with this card, I took a little strip of the black and white, or vanilla and white gingham ribbon. And the cool thing about this is you can make this ribbon any color you want. So it comes black and vanilla, but I thought for this card, it would be fun. And I think I did this on last week, maybe on a Facebook Live. I added some color to this. I'm just using the brush tip of my blending brush. And you can see how this saturates onto the glass mat. I'm just going to set that aside. Take my cleaning cloth and wipe that up, and I have a brand new clean surface ready to go on to my next project. I did find that after I did this, you need to set this aside and let it dry for a little bit, because if you don't, it's going to bleed. You just need to give it a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds or so, for it to dry. And then, of course, You can use it on your card, but you could do red and black. You could do, you know, any color, blue and black, whatever color you want to do. Yellow and black would be really cute. So it's a good way to change the color of your ribbon just by using your blends. And when you're doing it on the glass mat, you're not wasting any paper. All right, so that's number 2 for that. That was a tip for using the big giant background stamps. All right, I'm gonna get a drink of water here. Hold on one second. No, I have not ever used a cutting plate to apply pressure. That would work. You could use a brayer as well, and brayer over that. There's a lot of different ways I think you could add pressure to that stamp. Okay, my next thing is using, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. And you can see that, like I said, this sticks. This is not going anywhere. If you want to do some watercoloring, you could put water in here. I'm going to drip some little bits of re-inkers in this. The other thing that's cool about these, this was designed to fit our Stampin' Spots. So if you want to do some watercoloring, you can put your Stampin' Spots in there like that. Pick up the ink. You don't have to worry about them slipping or sliding away. You can add, you know, you can do your watercoloring that way. So I am going to take, and you know what, I think I am just like touching the iceberg on all the different things that you can do with the Glass Mat Studio. So I have, I'm sorry, I have a, this is the Simple Zinnia stamp set. And so I've already stamped this. This I use Stays On ink because I'm going to be watercoloring, and this is watercolor paper. So I am going to just kind of play around with this to show you. So I'm going to put a dab of green. This is Shy Shamrock. Literally, it's just a teeny tiny bit like that. That's about all you need, at least for what I'm doing. Then I'm going to put a bit of Petunia Pop. The other thing about these little squares here, if you wanted to mix colors, if you wanted to make like a lighter purple or a paler pink, something like that, you can blend your colors. You can use these little sections for blending. And I'm going to use a little bit of, this is crushed curry. So I'll just put that there. All right. Now I am going to take my water painter. These come in sets of 3. And a little tip about these, if you've ever used these before, they're different than the aqua painters that we used to have. The water, it seemed like with the aqua painters, the water flowed a little bit more free, which could be a good and a bad thing. But with these, you're going to put, it says push right on the side, and you're going to want to push that until you see the water flowing, and there it comes. If you think it's not clean, if you're going from one color to the next and you want to clean, you can rub it on this part of the silicone mat. I'm going to start with just a bit of, oh, I don't even know what color in the, oh, this is, okay. I'm like, gosh, what color is this? It's crushed curry. So I'm just going to dab, it looks like it's been mixed with, that's really strange. Well, I'm going to keep going. This is crushed curry. It doesn't look like crushed curry, though, does it? Wonder if I accidentally mixed it with something else. Very interesting. Well, it's kind of fun when you're doing like watercoloring like this. It makes you feel like you're an artist. Okay, so there we go. I think when this dries, it's going to lighten up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to squeeze. Actually, what I meant to do before I started was to put a little bit of extra water in here, and you could clean your brush out that way, but I'm just going to do it this way. I'm just kind of rubbing it along this until it gets clean. And you can see I barely used any ink, and look how much color is on this little matte part here. All right. I'm gonna do this next color, but I'm gonna squeeze some water into it over here because I want it to be fairly light. And I'm not going to color this whole thing, and I have a finished one that I'm going to show you, but look how pretty that is. This is Petunia Pop. And of course, what I could do, so I'm going to pick up some here that has not been saturated with water, and you can see how it's almost like when you're using the blends, if you follow the clues, I'll call them, that Stampin' Up! Has given us about where like something darker would be, you can go in like those lines like that, those would be where like a darker color or shadow would be. And then you can go back over here and get this lighter color. It's actually really fun. Makes me feel like an artist, right? I get to use all these cool tools on my Glass Mat Studio. And you can see how that, isn't that pretty? That's such a pretty color. I actually have zinnias in my garden right now that are this color. They are exploding. Some of them are like 5 feet tall, which is crazy. So just look how pretty that is with like the dark and the light. Okay, I'm going to squeeze this off again. Get rid of this color. And like I said, I'm just going to rinse this under the sink when I'm done to get it cleaned. And now I'm going to take a dab of green, squeeze some water in that as well. You don't want it to be too wet because then it's going to really blend. And I will say that originally when I did this, I used Tuxedo Black ink, and it smeared because the Tuxedo Black Memento ink is meant to be used with alcohol markers. And so since I'm using water on this, it did not look good, and so I pulled out my StazOn. So same thing here. I'm just going to color. If you like to do this, it's really relaxing. I find it very relaxing. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the dark and just highlight some of the dark. Isn't that pretty? And of course, you know, with watercolor, what they always say is you don't have to stay in the lines. It's okay to go outside of the line. So I'm just going to, so you get the idea. So I've just continued coloring, and really, really fun. I'm going to rinse this off again. I think I'm done with this. Yeah, so that's nice and clean. I can check it on here and it's completely clear. So you can, I'm going to hold this up so you can see. I'm perplexed as to why my crushed curry was so dark like that, but I actually kind of like it. I actually have flowers that have that dark center, but this is where you can see it's just fun to watercolor and add some color. Okay, so now here's one, so you can see it at work on a finished card. So here's a sample that I made up, and just says sending flowers and thinking of you. Super, super pretty, super simple. The cards that I made to go with all of these little techniques I'm showing you today were quite simple, but I know I've already said this before, but those are my favorite kind of cards. So works for me every time. So again, I would just take this to my sink, rinse it out, and it'll be good to go for the next time. So I'm going to lift that up. I don't think I need it on my next card. And I just have one more card. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you, because of this, so like this is I call it the baby, the mini cut and emboss machine. And if you put this on here, it is not going to go anywhere. It makes it really sturdy, so you don't have to worry about it slipping. This is similar to what the little feet are on the bottom of here. And the feet are the same height as these little corners here, so it just raises it up just a little bit. So I thought that was kind of cool as well. All right, my last card is fun. I had so much fun preparing these things for you all. Okay. So I have, let me get organized here a minute. I'm using the Frosted Forest Suite. It includes the stamp set, some dies, and then some masks. And so I'm focusing on the masks on my next card because I just thought that would be fun and a fun thing to show you. All right, so give me a moment here. I got to pull these new things over here. All Okay, so the masks, if you've never used them before, they are so much fun. They are marked, so these are called frosted, I think they're just called frosted forest masks. Oh, here, let me look. Frosted Forest Decorative Mats. They're masks. There are 6 masks in here, so you could do a couple different things. I'm going to do this big pine tree here. And these are also an online exclusive. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but these are labeled A, B, C, D, E, F. So you can look in the corner, and that gives you a hint as to the order you should use them when you're making a card with them. So I'm going to start with A. And what I want to do, because I don't want my cardstock to shift while I'm doing this, I'm going to just take a bit of, oh, here's what I want to use. My Stampin' Seal. I'm just going to put a little bit on my glass mat to hold this in place. I'm going to put it about there so we can, hopefully you can see that okay. All right. And I'm going to start with A. These have this little notch here as well. And I'm just going to put that, I'll just put that about right there. And then what I want to do is take just some Scotch tape. Now you could use washi tape. I'm just going to use Scotch tape to hold these masks down so that they don't shift either. And I'm going to take I'm going to start with Old Olive. It's the lighter of the green. I'm doing Old Olive and Shaded Spruce. And I'm going to take my brush. And I'm just going to brush. Now one thing, I didn't do this on this because I kind of tapped off on the edge of this mask, but anytime you're doing like a background or something, when you want to use, when you're using the blending brushes, we always used to tap off on like a piece of grid paper or scrap paper. Well, you can do that right on your glass mat. So I'm going to make this a little bit darker. Okay. They always look darker when you take the mask off, so less is probably better than more. To me, it just depends, I guess, on how you, what you had in mind for your creation. But I'm also going to pull out, I forgot to do this, I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to take my blending brush and just fill in this X here, or this V, so that when I bring in the B mask, it's going to help me know where to position it. All right, so I'm going to pull this up, and look how pretty that is. And then I'm going to take my B mask. Make sure, yeah, there's my C. Oh, where is my C mask? Oh, there it is. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh boy, it's been quite a day, let me just say. Okay, so we have this, and I'm just going to kind of line it up. It's not totally meeting it. This is kind of an offset thing anyway, so it's not totally meeting that, which is fine. I'm going to get some tape again. I'm probably going to just, let's see. I'm going to put a little piece of tape here. And now I'm going to use Shaded Spruce. Ink that up. The other thing, well, so let me show you this. So I'm going to add this darker color now, just to create some contrast. Okay, so we have that. The other thing you can do, rather than picking it up directly from the ink, from the ink pad, you can actually dab a little bit like that and pick that up that way. And just go over it again. So let's take that off so you can see our tree is starting to form. Okay, then I'm going to take, so I'm done with this, and I think I'm going to wipe that off for now. Leave my little notch there. Okay, so now I'm on to plate, or to mask C. And I'm just going to try to line this up. See, now this one lined up, it looks like it lined up pretty well. Okay, I'm going to get my tape again. Most of you probably have washi tape. I'm not sure why I don't. I used to have a ton of it, but so there we have that. And now what I want to do for this part is to use the shimmery white embossing paste. I have had this for a long time, but it is still current. We have, I believe we have white embossing paste and then the shimmery. And I did check today, the shimmery paste is not available right now, but it is going to be coming back in stock. So I'm going to just take a little bit of this, hold my hand over this, and I'm just going to spread this using this third mask. This is so fun to use. Okay, so I'm just spreading it over. Just filling in all the little holes. And then I'm going to go over this and like scrape off the excess. Like that. I'm actually going to put some on here. Keep scraping this away. Okay. So I just want to show, I'm not actually going to do this. Well, I could. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to pick up some of this shaded spruce. I guess I should have left it on there. I'm going to blob some of that there like that. And I'm just going to take my paste and mix it so that I have shimmery, not just green, but shimmery shaded spruce. So I'm going to put some of this, just so you can see, I'm just going to put some on the bottom here. Scrape away the excess. I think you'll be able to see when I'm done, that I think you'll be able to see the contrast. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just clean this off here, because it's green, I don't want to put it back in my jar of shimmery embossing paste. So I'm just going to pull this off now. Okay. It's a very subtle difference. The other thing I want to mention, as soon as you're done with this, when you're using embossing paste, I'm going to pull this tape off. I actually have a little tub of warm, lightly soapy water, and I'm just going to drop this in there for now, because otherwise it's over time it will get all like caked up, and the holes will fill up over time, and then you won't be able to use it as effectively. So I'm going to drop this in my warm soapy water, and I'll just clean that up when I'm all done today. So so you can use your cleaning cloth to get this up, clean that up. But I brought just a wet paper towel, because I didn't want to get my cleaning cloth all like chunky from this paste. I just wanted to get that off of here first. And then I'm going to go over it with my cleaning cloth. So you have that pretty much cleaned up for the most part. You can still see some shimmer. Okay. I'm going to pull this up, and it is still stuck on there. Let me hold this up so you can see. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but in person, it is so shimmery. I'm not sure it's picking it up on the camera. But this is the white part, and as it dries, it's going to get more white. And then this down here is where I use the green. And it is shimmering away. And like I said, the more, you need to give it a little bit of time to dry. So let me get this cleaned up here. 1 second here. I'm going to wipe off my little palette as well. Okay. Close this up so it doesn't get dried out. And then let me show you the card. Where did I put it? Here it is. So here's the card, and you can see I made this a while ago, and so the embossing paste is now dry, and you can just, it just, for one thing, it adds a really cool texture to the card front, and it just is shimmery and pretty. This is the Frosted Forest bundle. It's an online exclusive. Like I said, it comes with the stamp set dies and then the masks, and it's just a really fun way to add some texture. We've had some other masks in the past that will add mainly just like a background texture, but I don't think, as far as I'm aware, we have any of those right now. But the other thing you can do is take like a die cut, maybe a leaf or something like that, just on a piece of cardstock, and you can use your embossing paste with like a die cut shape that you would use the negative part of it to create an interesting background or even a focal point. So I think this is such a beautiful card. And then you can see around the edge here, I just used my blending brush and added some color around the edge, which I could do on this as well. And again, you want to start off the edge and then just kind of go over. And then you just clean it all up when you're done, and you can pick up more ink from there. So you're using less ink. Rather than put your ink on like a scrap of paper, you just pick it up from the glass mat and you're good to go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to clean this up now. And even the part where I had, like, there's where my Stampin' seal was. You wipe this off, and I had that blend there. Going to wipe all of this off. Here's where that adhesive was. It's all just going to wipe off. In fact, we played bingo last night. I had a great group of ladies. We played bingo via Zoom, and we made some gorgeous cards. And I noticed this morning when I came down to my studio that there were a couple little dabs of the Tombow liquid glue on my glass mat. I didn't know they were there. So all I did was took my cloth, I got it wet again, and just wiped it off, and it came right off. So when you store this, so what I'm going to do when I'm done today is take this to my sink, rinse it out, squeeze it a little bit, and then you can store it flat here, fold it in half. Some people like to fold them in fourths and store them in like a stamping case, that kind of thing. Okay, so let me just pull these cards in again for you. I think I covered everything I was going to today, but honestly, like I said, this is just like the tip of the iceberg of things that you can do with this glass mat. So there's the one that I did with the watercoloring using the silicone mat. Here's the one that I did with the large background stamp being placed right on the glass mat. Easy to line up straight because of the grid pattern here. I don't know if I said this, but there are inches going all the way across the top and the bottom, and then metric. And there's this one, just to show you what a great impression, solid impression you can get with the solid stamps just by stamping on a really firm surface, and then using the masks, including with the embossing paste. So those are the 4 types of things we talked about today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Here is my host code. I had that other really pretty one, and I don't know, it's probably buried alive somewhere, but let me just tell you again what my ordering special is, and this goes through Sunday night at midnight. If you place an online order, if you order the glass mat, you're going to get some thank you gifts from me. This is the code that you need to use. When prompted, they'll ask you what the host code is, and you will receive a pack of blending brushes. You will receive a pack of dimensionals, because as I was doing this today, look at like almost every card I've used dimensionals on. Like I go through those like, I don't know what, like they're nothing, and I don't know, I don't think I could live without Stampin' Dimensionals. So you'll get the blending brushes, a pack of the dimensionals. You will get a pack of, oh, here's the pretty one. You'll get a pack of, this is my thank you gift for the month of August. These are called Adhesive Back Sparkle Gems. You'll get those. here's the host code you'll need to use. This will expire, like I said, Sunday at midnight. And then you'll also get 2 of the freebie points rather than 1 with a $60 order. If you already have the glass mat and want to take care of all the specials that take advantage of all the specials that I'm offering, just place a $60 product order. That has to be, of course, before shipping and tax and any bonus day coupons you may still have left. If you have those, don't forget to cash them in because they go away the end of this month, August 31st. They will be gone. So put all this stuff out here, and I'm going to just change my view. So that was a lot to share with you today, but it was really fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hoped that I have perhaps convinced you to see all some of the benefits of our Glass Mat Studio and why you may want to add it to your stamping collection of products. I have fallen in love with this since I started using it, and I feel strongly that you will as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week, not on Monday because it's the Labor Day holiday, and I think we have some family plans, which will be really fun. I hope that you're all doing something fun as well. I'm always grateful for you watching me, and as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Thanks so much, my friends. Bye-bye.